So we are going to learn about ignorance management first. Why ignorance? You have inventory, you do inventory management. You have finance, you do finance management. So if you have ignorance, you do ignorance management, isn't it? Now, why ignorance? I've already covered that in the earlier video. Have a look at it. But a quick recap. We have thousands of features and we use a very small proportion of it, and that too we really misuse it. Job is getting done, so we think what we know is enough. What we don't know must be useless. And what we don't know, and we know that we don't know, is still called ignorance. So we will manage that proactively and we will learn to learn. Reduce the ignorance, increase the knowledge, increase efficiency. That's the concept. If you do trial and error, fine. You may find a method, but you still don't know, is it the best method? Is it the most optimal? Fair enough. Google, yes, Google will give you some results, but the fact that the result came on top doesn't mean it's the best way. It is the most popularly searched term, and nobody is searching, tell me the best way. Tell me this, tell me that, not the best way. Asking each other is bad because everyone is inefficient. So you'll get another variation of inefficiency. What's the point? Help file, yes, but that also is ineffective because in the help file there is a text box to search. If you don't know the name of the feature, what are you going to type? You can't. So it's useless. Problem is all these 4 common methods don't work properly. So now you are wondering, I am just here to depress you? Absolutely not. Let's see how to learn with minimal effort and maximum impact. One thing is clear. If you have a need, you need a solution. Agreed. But don't think whether there is a solution. These people like Microsoft, Adobe and so many other vendors have been nurturing that product for years or decades. Whatever need you have, they must have thought and given a solution. From your point of view, it's just a question of finding that solution. Now, where is that solution? Oh, it's a collection of large number of buttons, menus, options. Yes, I understand it is confusing, and that's where you need help. And you don't need help every time. You need some general thought which will work every time. So let's take an example. Let's say I want to take notes for my meeting and I want to link the notes to the meeting. That has never happened probably. But where is the problem? The problem is in the context of the meeting. So go to the meeting and confidently right click. Why am I saying right click? Because right click is called context menu. The context is established where you clicked. Meeting. So whatever is possible logically in the context of the meeting will be shown there in the menu. And one of the options there is send to OneNote. In fact, I have a detailed video on how to link your notes to meeting, but that's aside, you found the solution. Now you just explore, figure it out, done. Localize contextual problem, you will always find the solution in the right click menu. One word of caution. When I'm saying right click, it is for traditional Mac or Windows applications. Nowadays, many applications are built web first. So right click may not be there, but the equivalent of that is those ellipses or 3 dots. That is called an overflow menu, which is equivalent of right click menu. Basically, due to lack of space, if something doesn't fit, it's put in the menu. Another kind of context menu comes on top. Why on top? Because it has a lot of options and it comes in the context of where you have currently clicked, not right click. Remember that. So if I click inside a table, I will get table tools menu on top. If I click in a picture, then I'll get picture tools menu on top. You know that already, but I'm just establishing that fact consciously in your mind. So if it is a contextual menu which just came, obviously all answers have to be there. So just go there, look at the menu and figure it out. Now let me tell you how to read a menu. Technically, it's also called a tab because it looks like a tab. Never mind. Every menu has a lot of buttons. Okay, nothing great. The important thing to understand is those buttons are not randomly arranged. They are in groups. You see those vertical lines? Those are grouping related buttons. Now each group has a name. Read the name first. For example, in Word, we have a font group, we have a paragraph group, and so on. Now, all that you have to do is look at the name of the group and say, whatever problem I'm trying to solve, is it a font problem, is it a paragraph problem, is it a validation problem? Depending on the group name, you'll be able to shortlist it. Once you logically find the correct group, then you go and read individual buttons. That saves you the trouble and gives you clarity. It's completely common sense based. No technology involved, no complexity involved. Now, while we are at buttons, again people have not understood these. A typical button is you click and something happens, the simplest possible thing. But some buttons are toggle. Means what? You click, something happens, you click again, something does not happen. Bold, not bold kind of buttons. But there is another very special kind of button which is a dual button. For example, in PowerPoint, you have a new slide button. I am sure you have used it hundreds of times. But below that, lower half of the button is a separate button. What is the specialty about that? You click on it, it does not create a slide, it allows you to choose the layout. So little extra benefit. For example, another one, crop. Click on crop, it goes into crop mode, but there is a drop down which has some amazing options like aspect ratio, change shape, and so on. Just by clicking those drop downs and reading what is available, you're going to learn more. Now there is another kind of user interface called gallery. You open a drop down, you see multiple options, and then you don't click on the option. You just hover the mouse cursor, you will see the impact immediately. These are called live tiles. Only when you are satisfied with the output, then you go there. For example, picture styles. I am moving the cursor, the one I like, I leave and click. Simple. We have seen menus, we have seen right click. There is a third set of things, which is basically going to change the behavior of the entire software. Example is, you go to calendar, tools, options, calendar. It is not going to change the calendar today. It's going to say, what are your working days? Do you want to show a week number there? So it's changing the overall behavior. So tools options means behavior. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, very recently, Microsoft added a brilliant feature in the right click menu. I already told you right click menu. You look at it, if the option is there, use it. If not, search somewhere else. So Microsoft said, why disappoint you? If the option you are looking for is not there in the right click menu, don't go away. I will give you a search there itself. So in the any right click menu, now you have a search box. You can type any relevant thing there and it will give you search results. I feel it's a brilliant option. I myself took some time to get used to it, but once I use it, it's really intuitive and makes things faster. But beyond these, there is one problem I am noticing. I teach so many people, I conduct coaching sessions. At the end of it, people are scared. Yes, we understood the concept, but if I try something goes wrong. So you want to proactively avoid that concern. How do you do that? Create one Word file, one Excel file, one PowerPoint file, one Adobe file, whatever, and keep that test. Call it test, learn, trial and error, whatever you want to call it. So anything you learn, don't just keep it in mind. Go to that file, try it out. So you have confidence now that it works. And this works even better when it is collaborative. For example, I have a document, I shared it with someone. Now both people can simultaneously edit. I know exactly how to do it. Other party doesn't know, then again we are back to square one. So make sure learning is applied in a non-serious scenario first, so you get the confidence. Not just you, people around you. And that is what is going to improve efficiency across the board. Now many people, I do so many sessions and say, ask me a question. Whether it is online, in person, whatever, people are scared of asking questions. Please don't be. It is absolutely okay to say, I don't know. Almost in every session, there may be something I don't know. Either I figure out the answer in front of everyone, or I'll get back to you with the answer. That's absolutely fine. Many people are worried, if I ask a question, will I sound stupid? Will people laugh at me? Don't worry about that. Even if they laugh at you, doesn't matter. If there is a genuine question and there is a genuine answer, even the people who laughed will benefit from it. So don't worry, be curious, be exploratory, and trust me, you will dramatically transform your efficiency. So needless to say, for this video, your questions, thoughts, comments, definitely post it. I will be most happy to answer them. Now, there is something bigger. The idea is you learn something small, get the small benefit, then think bigger. That's called converting specifics into generics. That's a thought process. But when you implement that thought process, life becomes better because specific thing, specific benefit. If you enlarge that scope, much bigger benefit, amplified benefit. For example, Word knows how to manage text beautifully. Of course you know that, but now consciously think, anything to do with text, don't struggle in Excel, do it in Word. That's how you have to think. Anything with numbers, calculations, obviously Excel. Anything with graphics, don't struggle in Word and Excel. Although the feature may be there, it's best to do in PowerPoint. Like that, for every software, there is a strength. And once you understand that, you will stop misusing products. I know so many people who are trying to manage large amount of text in Excel. It's a disaster, but they stick to it because I am XYZ, I like Excel. Agreed, you like Excel, sir, madam, whatever. But Excel is not designed to manage text. You go to the thing which is designed. You already have that. So don't have ego problems with software. It is designed to make your life easier, not more difficult. You don't get attached to the software. Software will get attached to you. And software will not break up with you ever, unless you do it. But moving on, let's look at the method now. I have enough gyan I have given you. Let's put it in perspective and give you a repeatable method which you can easily follow lifelong for any piece of software. First step is to notice. Even that doesn't happen. I kept this one till the end. Why? I showed you so many methods of learning. The most important method of learning is looking. You may say, oh, what is there? I am looking at the screen every day. Agreed. But look at this example. I am dragging something, 1, 1, 1 comes, say, oh, problem, undo, then 1, 2, drag. You know the story. That's wrong. Look. What did I say? Look. That thing came, no? That thing is called smart tag. That thing, mostly people call it the most irritating feature in Excel, Word, PowerPoint. It comes everywhere, doesn't go away. Escape also doesn't work. It's a very adamant thing. Most common question I get is how to get rid of that thing. Never show this guy again. Obviously, there is a feature which I won't tell you. Why? Because this is the best thing which happened to you. You did something, it didn't work. That's a disappointment. Now, Microsoft knows that in this situation, so many things are possible. Microsoft doesn't know or Adobe doesn't know what you have in mind. There are 4 possibilities. So it does the most commonly required one, but then you may be wanting the uncommon one. So this is an afterthought menu. So whatever is default, it does. Whatever is not default automatically comes in that menu. So here is an example. If I drag 1, 1, 1, 1, click on that, it says, oh, these are other things I can do in this context. You want to fill series? Tell me. And it's so intelligent. This was just number. If I had done it for date, it would change the menu live. That much amount of thought goes into making our lives easier. The concept is we have to reciprocate by noticing, appreciating, exploiting, and applying it to our life. That's all there is to it. So concept is learn, apply, test it out so that you have confidence. And most important, don't keep it to yourself. The only way to learn is to teach. I hope you know that. Maybe you have never tried it. Maybe you are worried about other people taking away your knowledge. Don't worry. If you teach, you automatically become insecure that, oh, now we are on the same level. And this learning has given you immediate benefit. So that's an incentive to learn more. In fact, there are so many things to learn. Once people start benefiting from you, they will expect more knowledge from you. They will give you respect. In fact, you should create a collaborative knowledge management system. It can just be a simple table. A feature, what is the benefit, what is the context in which it is useful, and who will benefit from it. It is a very, very enriching process, empowering process. This is the catalyst to growth. You will realize that with little bit of practice, this becomes second nature to you. There is no conscious effort in doing this. In fact, beyond a point, you will be able to predict saying, if this is this way, that feature has to be there. It's just a question of finding where it is. That is what gives you confidence. This is called generic efficiency. We are not having a competition, how much you know versus how much I know. How much ability you have to know in contextual terms and apply it to your advantage. So that is how you learn to learn. I'm sure you found this thought-provoking and interesting, but don't just subscribe, click the bell icon and go away. Try it out. You will have questions, put them, share it with people. And YouTube has recently put a thank you button also. Explore that. So till next time, that's it from me. Take care. Bye-bye.